Do not do unto others as you would that they should do unto you. Their tastes may not be the same. Both optimists and pessimists contribute to society. The optimist invents the airplane, the pessimist, the parachute. Success does not consist in never making mistakes, but in never making the same one a second time. Patriotism is a conviction that a particular country is the best in the world because you were born in it. He knows nothing, and he thinks he knows everything. That points clearly to a political career. You use a glass mirror to see your face. You use works of art to see your soul. A pessimist is a man who thinks everybody is as nasty as himself and hates them for it. Make it a rule never to give a child a book you would not read yourself. My way of joking is to tell the truth. It's the funniest joke in the world. After all, the wrong road always leads somewhere. You don't stop laughing when you grow old. You grow old when you stop laughing. Better keep yourself clean and bright. You are the window through which you must see the world. The reasonable man adapts himself to the world. The unreasonable one persists in trying to adapt the world to himself. Therefore, all progress depends on the unreasonable man. Those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything. All great truths begin as blasphemies. Liquor is the chloroform which enables the poor man to endure the painful operation of living. Dancing is a perpendicular expression of a horizontal desire. The most tragic thing in the world is a man of genius who is not a man of honor. Life does not cease to be funny when people die, any more than it ceases to be serious when people laugh. There is no love more sincere than the love of food. Criminals do not die by the hands of the law. They die by the hands of other men. When a thing is funny, search it carefully for a hidden truth. There are two tragedies in life. One is to lose your heart's desire. The other is to gain it. We learn from experience that men never learn anything from experience. He who can, does. He who cannot, teaches. Imagination is the beginning of creation. You imagine what you desire. You will what you imagine. And at last, you create what you will. Life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. A woman always chooses the men who choose a different woman. Never wrestle with pigs. You both get dirty, and the pig likes it. You'll never have a quiet world till you knock the patriotism out of the human race. Animals are my friends, and I don't eat my friends. When a stupid man is doing something he is ashamed of, he always declares that it is his duty. Doing what needs to be done may not make you happy, but it will make you great. You see things, you say, why? But I dream of things that never were, and I say, why not? All men are the same in front of the woman they admire. Life is no brief candle to me. It is a sort of splendid torch, which I have got a hold of for the moment, and I want to make it burn as brightly as possible before handing it on to future generations. We don't stop playing because we grow old. We grow old because we stop playing. The single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place. Progress is impossible without change, and those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything. Beware of false knowledge. It is more dangerous than ignorance. Youth is wasted on the young. A life spent making mistakes is not only more honourable, but more useful than a life spent doing nothing. A happy family is but an earlier heaven. Man can climb to the highest summits, but he cannot dwell there long. A fool's brain digests philosophy into folly, science into superstition, and art into pedantry. Hence, university education. The power of accurate observation is commonly called cynicism by those who have not got it. Liberty means responsibility. That is why most men dread it. Hatred is the coward's revenge for being intimidated. Democracy is a device that ensures we shall be governed no better than we deserve. Youth is a wonderful thing. What a crime to waste it on children. If history repeats itself, and the unexpected always happens, how incapable must man be of learning from experience? The liar's punishment is not in the least that he has not believed, but that he cannot believe anyone else. Love is a gross exaggeration of the difference between one person and everybody else. A government that robs Peter to pay Paul can always depend on the support of Paul. Take care to get what you like, or you will be forced to like what you get. I no longer desire happiness. Life is nobler than that. The longer I live, the more convinced am I that this planet is used by other planets as a lunatic asylum. We are made wise, not by the recollection of our past, but by the responsibility for our future. Every man over 40 is a scoundrel. Write your sad times in sand. Write your good times in stone. People who say it cannot be done should not interrupt those who are doing it. The only person who acts sensibly is my tailor. He takes my measure anew every time he sees me. Everyone else goes by their old measurements. Some people look at the world and say, why? Some people look at the world and say, why not? The moment we want to believe something, we suddenly see all the arguments for it, and become blind to the arguments against it. Our prejudices are so deeply rooted that we never think of them as prejudices, but call them common sense. Our lives are shaped not as much by our experiences as by our expectations. Alcohol is the anesthesia by which we endure the operation of life. The things most people want to know about are usually none of their business. Most people do not pray. They only beg. It is not enough to know what is good. You must be able to do it. War does not decide who is right, but who is left. People become attached to their burdens, sometimes more than the burdens are attached to them.